I wanted to be super productive, like the people I saw on YouTube who were doing 10-hour study with me revision sessions on YouTube. But the issue was I couldn't sit down and focus. I would always procrastinate on the work that I had to do, like homework that was due in. And I would see all these guys on YouTube who would be doing 10-hour study sessions, and here I was, unable to sit down and start my first minute. And all the time I'd be seeing these YouTubers doing 10-hour sessions, 12-hour sessions, and some even doing like 13 or 14-hour sessions. And I was annoyed. If we fast forward a couple of years, I joined a Discord call with a YouTuber who you might know. His name is Elias MM. And I'm on a one-to-one call with him on Discord. And he gives me a productivity tactic, which you're going to learn in this video. And it is to delay breakfast. So I decide tomorrow morning that I'm going to delay breakfast. And that's what I do. And so I work in the morning for 2 hours. And I'm in a consistent, deep workflow. For the 2 hours, no thoughts are in my head whatsoever. I'm just focused on the task. And in those 2 hours, I felt more productive than the entirety of last week. I want you to imagine that in one morning, you could feel more productive than the entirety of your last week. Imagine your morning was more productive than some guy who you know in class. Imagine your morning was more productive than his entire week. In this video, that's what you're going to learn, because there's a secret trick which is delaying your breakfast, which you are not taking advantage of. I don't know why we're not taught this in school, because isn't school supposed to be like the most like the place where we learn productivity tactics? I find it weird how school gives us all of this homework, all of this just extra headache and extra stress, and here they are not telling us how to be productive. You're going to have to go onto YouTube as a replacement for the teachers who should have just taught you how to work effectively in the first place. And one of the things that you need to get into your head right now is that if you want to be productive, you should be doing some sort of intermittent fasting. I usually like this in the morning because it's like, really think about it. If you've been following our movement, you should probably get like a healthy amount of sleep. So you should have got around 8 hours or 9 hours sleep. You should have got 8 or 9 hours sleep. So really think about that. You've been fasting, because when you're asleep, you're not like there having your beans on toast, are you? You're there asleep. And when you wake up, you don't even feel hungry. And so you can grind out a deep work session, maybe a longer deep work session, extended deep work where it's 2 hours instead of 1 hour and 30. And you aren't even hungry yet, but you've been fasted for 11 hours. And so you are like a hunter. You are able to do the biggest amount of work possible. You are able to eat the frog. I'm just going to give you some quick bro science so this kind of makes sense in your head, because it's like, why should we delay breakfast? What does it do? And why is being fasted in the morning really good for us? It's because we got to think about this, right? In terms of what the body does, digesting has to be hard. Really think about it, right? Because I did triple science. It was kind of like boring, but like this is one thing I can somewhat remember. When you eat food, it's like obviously your body has to extract like the nutrients and filter out the waste and all of that. But really think about how hard that is, because we've got to eat the food. It's got to go down into our stomach. Our stomach has to by the way, whilst it's going down, it's like there's releasing enzymes. You can think of it as like mini things eating. That it's hard to explain, but it's like basically there's this thing called enzymes. Basically all they do is break down your food. And it's like that's starting from here, depending on what food it is, obviously. It's starting at your mouth. You've got to go through your stomach, It's either got to go through the large intestine, the small intestine. Is it poo or is it pee? Like, who knows? Like, we got to find out. And then it's like, okay, is this good for us? Is this bad for us? Like, your body has to do so much to digest a plate of food. So, really, if it does a lot, it's going to take a lot of energy. And if the energy is going to your lunch, where's the energy not going? It's not going to your brain. And so, that means you basically have less energy in your brain. Like, you see the bro science, you see where I'm getting at with this as well. If we have less energy on our brain, we have less energy to use on our work and to be productive. And a pro tip as well, just I'll give you, I've found that if you eat carbs, especially a lot of carbs before a productive, like, deep work session, you just become stupid. And as of not right now, like, I still eat carbs, but I preferably, I'm going back to school, so it's like, oh yeah, I'm in sixth one, by the way. It's like, so I kind of eat breakfast because it's like I go to school and then it's like I get hella hungry. So that's that. But if I was like on a weekend and I was at home and I could have breakfast and I could eat whenever I want, I would honestly just wake up and stay fasted for around 2 hours. You do the most important high leverage task that will move the ball in your work, or like get the ball rolling in your work, whether that's your business or your studies. And then afterwards you can eat carbs. But until you've done your deep work block, probably don't eat carbs or that many carbs. Maybe around like an hour or two before your work, because it's like, obviously if you've ate like beans and toast before, like 3 hours before, it's probably not going to affect you much. But you know what I'm saying. Being productive is one of the most fun things that you can actually do in your day. You could probably guess this, right? Because if you've been looking at all of these videos and you've been like watching these study with me's and these YouTubers and this guy who's telling you how to be more productive, top 7 ways to be more productive, you clearly care about this, right? And honestly, I'm going to tell you, it's so fun to be productive, knowing that your work is actually getting done. You're not procrastinating anymore. You're not watching any of these YouTubers anymore. I tell you, oh, here's the top 5 ways I be productive. Number 1, right? And I understand how hard it can be when you're not living up to your potential, because as a young man, you should be working to your potential. And if you're not doing that because you're procrastinating or you're struggling to be productive, I hope this video has helped you. And with that being said, share this with a friend who might want to be productive as well. Have a great day.